Hi guys, welcome to another Mentoring Monday. I've been working with a lot of vocalists lately, and it got me thinking about this topic that I'm going to talk about today. Leverage the assets of other people. So let's talk about what that means. I'm in a new musical trend in that 2/3 of my new tracks are vocal tracks, actual vocal tracks working with a vocalist and not AI or samples. You might ask, why am I creating more vocal tracks? Before I answer that question, I want to answer another question that people ask me. I get this asked quite often. What business skills or processes did I learn from my past that also work really well in the music industry? Well, that is to leverage the assets of other people. The legendary John D. Rockefeller once quoted, "I'd rather earn 1% off of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts." This is often used to emphasize the importance of teamwork and building successful and creative processes. So when I work with a vocalist, I always try to figure out how can I get the best out of them through teamwork? How can I inspire to make my original idea and demo better? So it's really better results working with somebody else than just working by myself. And with the right vocalist, this process can become a lot more rewarding and more fun. So during my business life, I spent a lot of time leading product development teams. I learned how to optimize the creative process. Creative meetings are a great example of how to get the best out of the other person, to leverage their assets. We can accomplish so much more with the help of other people than we can as individuals. Each person on the team has different talents, experiences, and skills, as well as they see the world differently than I do. So when starting a new creative process, as the creative director, it's really important that I communicate what I call communication norms, especially with new vocalists that I work with. Communication norms are agreed upon rules of engagement. For team members, they establish expectations for behavior, communication, and participation to ensure productive, respectful meetings. These ground rules will improve the efficiency and encourage equal participation, as well as foster a culture of trust by setting clear standards for preparation, time management, and also conflict resolution. So norms that I like to use in my meetings are as follows. Everyone is equal in the meeting. All ideas are important and valuable, and there's no dumb ideas. Like, you don't put other people down if they don't have an idea that's, same as yours, or if it's different than yours. This is a safe place where everyone is respected. Why? When people feel safe, they're more open. You also want to state the goal of the meeting, in this case to improve the track of the idea, in spite of the ownership of the idea, to be the best it can be. Start the meeting by clearly stating what is the idea we're trying to improve. It's also important to lay out the expectations for the meeting, that both positive and constructive criticism will take place. So when everyone clearly understands the purpose of the meeting is to improve the idea, no matter the ownership, it becomes not personal. Just make the idea, the new product, or the new track as good as it can be. The last thing I say is when the creative process is finished, someone has to make the final decision to go with the final idea. Sometimes there's a little bit of disagreements. So in this case, as the creative director, that person's me. But my promise to the group is to value each idea and comment and let the process create the best outcome. One time I was leading an HOA meeting. That HOA is a homeowners association. There's a lot of, say, snooty, wealthy people and smart people on the board. We had a problem to solve and nobody presented any ideas for the solution. Not knowing what to do, I threw out a super bad idea, which just coincidentally happened to inspire each person in the group to keep improving it. And once you get the ideas flowing with an icebreaker in this case, and everyone feels valued, you get the best from each person in the group. We eventually got a fantastic solution and it worked itself out. But it took that bad idea to get everybody going. And recently, I've been working on a new track with Natalie Joya. Yay! This is our fourth track together as we've developed an optimal working creative process. In other words, we work really well together now. We know each other very well. The original idea was to create a breakdown using the Armenian instrument, the duduk, from a Yanni track. Natalie would sing over this track in a different language. I sent the reference track off to who I call an orchestral specialist to improve the idea so Natalie could sing over it. He has a much more expansive library of orchestral sounds, plus he has a super skill in this area of music. Much to my surprise, Natalie and this producer have worked together before. What I got back from them was a 2.5 minute breakdown, 2.5 minutes, that was utterly spectacular. Much better than the original idea. It's totally mesmerizing. I used various sounds from the break throughout the track to create a rhapsody, a collection of different melodies and listening experiences all sewn together. A 6-minute epic listening experience, a rhapsody. It's an utterly wild track that will be released in October of 2026. The last thing I'll mention that it's important to celebrate the team's successes. What gets rewarded gets repeated. Give credit where credit is due. You want your team to feel appreciated and recognized for their great work. Somebody has to tell them. This power of appreciation should come from the leader. This sets the tone for future creative ideas to improve anything that you work on. The better you get at getting the best ideas out of your team, the better your success, the better your growth rate, and the better the quality of your product or your service. All because I got the best out of each of them to improve the original idea. Are you ready to leverage the assets of the good people around you? Now you know how. I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Remember, it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Cheers.